High ankle sprain.
Well, for people
Wow.
that are not aware of the game, so basically the Ravens went to Foxborough, beat the Patriots 37-26. Lamar Jackson did whatever he wanted to do. And the main storyline coming out of that was Mac Jones had a severe ankle sprain, high ankle sprain, from what all the reports are coming out via Adam Schefter, Mike Giardi, all those guys. At the moment, they're looking to see what the best options are. And by the reaction that Mac Jones had on the field, we thought he definitely broke his ankle. I mean, like, we're talking like this dude was like crying, screaming, grunting. Like, there's three people carrying him off the field. Like, it was something of a bizarre scene. Something we've never really seen out of an NFL quarterback, in my opinion. Most of the time, NFL quarterbacks are alphas, right? They're men of men. They lead men. They've got to have the trust of all 53 people on the roster, 52, I guess, including themselves. But we've never seen a quarterback show that much emotion. I don't know. I take that back because emotion is different. Emotion is in, obviously we see Brady slamming tablets and this quarterback's all pissed off.
Pain.
I don't think we've seen this much weakness out of a quarterback. Most of the
Oh.
time, quarterbacks go to the locker room and then let it all out. This dude was like, I don't care, like flailing around like a freaking 2-year-old out there, man.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Debilitating injury. I mean, Alex Jones pretty much had his leg broken in half and his bone
You mean
going through
Alex
his
Smith?
skin. Remember Carson Wentz?
Yeah.
The joke was last year when he sprained both of his ankles, he was two sprains. I don't think he
Two
was screaming.
sprains.
Two sprains.
Well, no, listen, and I think that's the thing that, like, at first when this injury happened, Puma, I was given the benefit of the doubt. I was, you saw my text messages because I thought maybe the guy really was in a lot of pain and maybe he broke something. But as the information came out that it was more just a high ankle sprain, and then the more I started thinking about it, like, we've never seen a quarterback show this much weakness. Like, that's the thing that I can't get over. We've seen Dak Prescott's ankle go the other way. We've seen Alex Smith's leg collapse on himself, like you said. Hell, Joe Theismann, he had his leg basically implode. Dude, just last week, Trey Lance had the somewhat similar injury where he actually broke the bones in his ankle, and he didn't show this much emotion and weakness. So I have some concerns about Mac Jones's toughness, and that's alarming because that was the one thing we can hold on to. I know as Patriots fan, we know he wasn't the fastest, so he has the biggest arm, most athletic freak. All we could say was like he was very tough, right? He was a very tough-minded individual. And seeing what I saw on Sunday kind of shook me, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know where we go from here as Patriots Nation. Obviously we're gonna turn to Brian Hoyer for the upcoming game against the Packers, but now there's reports coming out that apparently Mac Jones is getting a second opinion because he doesn't trust the Patriots who are forcing him to try to get a surgery. There's a special procedure called the tightrope surgery, which is basically going in, putting in a suture, helps stabilize your ankle and helps recovery. It's a 4-week process to get you back on the field. If you don't go through that process, it's usually 8 to 10 weeks, depending on how severe that ankle sprain is. But from everything we've heard so far, Mac Jones doesn't want to go through that accelerated route because he wants to get a second opinion and take his sweet old time getting back on the field.
Yeah, I just hope he gets nominated for the Purple Heart after that performance on Sunday. So no, I mean real quick, just to like put a bow on it. I mean, Jay, just buckle up. Like that's the franchise quarterback right there, and I know there's probably been some rumble. I mean,
is it? Because let's be real. It's the second year, and through 3 games, he's basically last in most statistical categories for quarterback metrics, right? Whether it's interception, he leads the league in that. Whether it's quarterback rating, he's like 31st. Whether it's like yards per game or whatever it is, like he's like 30th. He's basically in the bottom 3 for most statistical categories.
Here's the thing, in my opinion, is let's say like the end of the season, obviously, like I expect Mac Jones at some point to be back this year. Do I see this team as a playoff caliber team right now or moving forward? Honestly, no, I don't. That's not me being a hater. That's just me using my eyes and logic. But to me, the excuses are already built in, right? You have like this experiment that Bill's doing with 2 guys that have never called offensive plays before, pretty much doing like on the job training, and Joe Judge and Matt Patricia, and now like the creme de la creme is, oh well, our franchise quarterback had a high ankle sprain and he wanted to take the 6 weeks recovery time. And, I'm sure there's going to be some spin coming out of Foxborough in certain parts to make this look good for Belichick. And, it's like, oh, it's chestnut checkers. Like, we're taking a long view. We're protecting our guy. And, we'll be back next year because, you got a piece of sycophants. But also, I think it's just like a pride thing. Like, is Bill going to do the about face and say, yeah, Mac's not our guy, and maybe we mail it in for the rest of the season and hopefully get a high draft pick, because we all know he's not trading up in the draft. I don't think I've ever seen that man trade up in the draft during his entire tenure as a New England Patriot. And I mean, in the free agency pool next year, like, it's kind of the same situation where the Giants are right now. It's like, yeah, is Mac Jones great? No. Is Daniel Jones great? No. But are there worse quarterbacks potentially in the free agency pool than these two? Yeah, probably. I mean, just look at Pittsburgh, for Christ's sake. So I think he's going to be your guy the rest of the season, obviously, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking snaps or you see him in training camp next season.
What are you thinking in regards to length of time he's going to be off the field?
Well, we kind of saw. Well, his teammates. I mean, Jalen Hurts and Tua. I mean, Tua's gotten the tightrope surgery twice. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got it not his final year at Alabama, but the second to last year. Because the final year he had that pretty bad hip displacement. But he's had the tightrope surgery twice, and I think there's a Sports Illustrated article floating around where Mac Jones is quoted in that article about the tightrope compared to the other Alabama quarterbacks. But, I mean, you saw it this year in the offseason and training camp where, depending on who you were following for a beat reporter, like some people were saying it's Mac is kind of rounding the corner with this new offensive system, and other people were saying he's been passive-aggressive on how bad it is. And I heard it today in some, media markets where people were saying he's gotten better coaching at Alabama than he's had in the NFL up in, this season at least. So if, he feels like his offensive line isn't protecting him, because we can all agree, well, not all of us because we're not all drinking the Kool-Aid, but the majority of fans that have logical sense and have eyes can see that there are times he had happy feet. He was playing scared. Mm-hmm. He wasn't letting the play develop.
Yep.
If you feel like you're going to get murdered in that offensive line, some of your guys are not getting separated, and you have, Tweedledee and Tweedledum calling offensive plays. Are you really going to be in a rush to go back there for a car crash every time?
Yeah.
I don't think so, and that's why I think he's taking his sweet time.
Well, I know there's a narrative built in that's going to give him that excuse and a pass for the year in a sense with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. But, like, if you really break it down, Puma, and like you said, you're seeing that it really is on Mac Jones the reason why the offenses look so bad. Like, there have been stretches. I'm not saying it's perfect. The offensive line has given them great protection in good stretches of games. Wide receivers have gone open in good stretches of games. He's missed tight ends left and right. They've gone open, but he's not reading the field clearly. Even Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, I can honestly say in 3 games, Puma, maybe there's like 14 plays where I'm like, okay, I don't see why they call that. But for the most part, they've called plays that have gotten people wide open, and Mac is just simply missing them. And it just talks to how he's regressed, right? He from year one, we thought he was going to build on year 2, but from everything I understand, he's not picking up the offense that the new offense is installing. He's giving quite a bit of pushback to the coaching staff. He's not buying in, which is trickling down to the rest of the locker room, and they're not buying in. So there's a lot there that you thought we were getting in Mac Jones that was going to be the foundation of our franchise for the next 10 years, that he's simply not, right? We thought he was cut from that cloth of Tom Brady, and I'm not comparing him to Tom Brady, trust me, I'm not doing that, but cut from that cloth of good intangibles, good leader, buy-in, the first one in and the last one out, that kind of deal, and it seems like it's quite the opposite. So now you don't have a guy that's not physically great, and the intangibles aren't there either, like, so what the hell do we have, right? So the next point I want to make here is, I know the Packers and the Patriots are playing this week, and I'm going to go out on a limb, Puma, and say I think the Patriots win this game. Like, call me crazy, call me a crackhead, call me, whatever. I think with how the Packers have struggled to put up points this year, I know they put up, 13 points in 14 points in Tampa Bay. They put up 7 points week 1. They put up 27 points, I believe, week 2 against the Chicago Bears. Yeah, I have it here right here. So we got 7 points against the Vikings week 1, 27 against the Bears. That has a big blowout game, and then 14 points against the Buccaneers. So I think this defense with the Patriots can stifle that offense. And to be real with you, when Brian Hoyer stepping in for Mac Jones, I don't think the drop off is going to be there. I think Mac Jones was playing at such a bad level that he was holding the offense back. I would dare to say maybe the offense looks a tad bit more cohesive with Brian Hoyer back there.
Yeah, Brian Hoyer won't throw 3 picks; he'll throw 2. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the opposite side of this. I mean, we saw it last year as well too. Like the Packers got blown out week 1, then they had the bounce back game, and I mean, we talked about it last week a little bit about Tampa Bay. Like the one bright spot on the Tampa Bay side of things is their defense. Their offense is in shambles. You can go back and listen to our bit about Tom Brady. Not going to go 14 rounds on that now. But I mean, that was the one bright spot was the defense, and we also saw how heat was affecting everybody that was playing in South Florida yesterday, or not yesterday, on Sunday, a la the Bills Dolphins, and there were times where Alan Lazard is blowing chunks on the sideline and all that. The heat was sapping everybody. So, am I going to read too much into the 14 points? No, not really. I think we saw a budding star in the making in Romeo Dobbs. I think Lazard is going to get kind of in a bounce back spot, even though he's dealing with some ankle injuries. But he's not acting like he needs a Purple Heart. But I mean, at this point, I'm gonna go with the Packers here. I know we're kind of jumping out of like the game previews here, but the point spread was like 10. They're on the road in Lambeau. I find it hard to believe Aaron Rodgers is going to lose against this defense at home, and I think you're going to see another get right spot with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon because they shut down the run last week. And let's be honest, Bob Tonyan, he's about a year removed from his ACL injury. I mean, we saw what Mark Andrews did with Lamar Jackson. I get it; it's like different caliber of player, but I mean, Mark Andrews was kind of having his way in some of his routes that he was doing. He got 2 of the touchdowns that Lamar Jackson threw. So I maybe there's going to be a possible big Bob Tonyan game. So I'm going to lay. If I'm going to bet this game, I'm going to lean towards the 10. It's a big number in my opinion. Like maybe New England covers the spread, but I have Green Bay winning outright at home.
Yeah, and maybe call me the optimist in this. Like if the Patriots do win this game, then it does get a little easier, right? We've got the Lions coming in. Yes, the Lions put up a bunch of points, but they also are still a Lions. They somehow choked that game against the Vikings, so I feel confident beating them at home. If we can't beat the Lions at home, then this organization is much far gone than I thought. After that, we got the Browns. I mean, we got the Bears after that, who are just a dumpster fire. We got the Jets, who believe me I think they're trash. Colts. I mean, they had that nice little win against the Chiefs, but I don't trust those guys. And the Jets, I mean, there's a soft schedule here where the Patriots could realistically rattle off some wins, man. And don't be shocked, Puma. Don't be shocked if when Mac Jones does come back, they hand him back like a 5-3 team or something.
If it's such a soft schedule, if I'm Mac Jones and I'm looking at it, and it's like, oh, it's a soft schedule, okay, do the tightrope, I'll rehab and I'll be back in no problem. I think he would have been back. I think he's in no rush to go back to this team. He's in no rush to deal with this offensive, bozo fest and Tweedledee and Tweedledum. You saw him visibly getting pissed on the sideline, yelling as a bleeping cover 4. So either somebody missed a route. I think honestly, Jay, if he wanted to be back, taking all that in for the soft schedule and whatnot, and he just has to ride out 4 weeks, he would have done the tightrope surgery yesterday.
Yeah.
I think he wants nothing to do with this offense. He's going to have happy feet when he comes back. He's not going to trust masses of humanity by his ankles. Nah. I think I'm going to say buckle up and invest in Tums.
Okay, well that's unfortunate news, Puma. Thank you for being there and supporting me through my hard times.
Oh, I don't want to hear it. You gave me enough crap as a Dolphins fan the entire time we've known each other. Welcome to the life as a Dolphins fan, as a Bengals fan up until last year, as a Jets fan. Oh, yeah.